Evening intuitives, as promised, I'm actually going to do videos more regularly again after I got busy and or lazy and distracted for a couple months. So, now that I finished my side jobs I had all day today because it didn't rain and I had a lot of catching up to do, still waiting on that reply from that one job I actually want from the many interviews I had this week while I'm trying to hold off replying to the ones where I really don't want to take. So, anyway, based on some older comments that I did read and reply to, but never got around to making the video that I said I was going to make, I never said when I would do it. I'm going to get around to one of the videos that I was asked to make, I don't know, 6, 8 weeks ago. And it's signs that you are going to the dark side as an INFJ, becoming a dark INFJ. I did a video a while ago on signs that you're already there, like what an INFJ is like when they're, in dark mode, in dark side mode. Yeah, it's got Anakin Skywalker as the thumbnail because that's an appropriate example. I remember when the prequels came out, the priest who taught my religion class loved comparing me to Anakin Skywalker in Revenge of the Sith. And also a cop who liked to harass me back then nicknamed me Anger Boy, in part because I had a bit of a reputation in public school before I went to Catholic school for, let's just say, for fighting unenlightened, stereotypical country people who had some backwards ideas on women and had some derogatory things to say about certain friends of mine who led a lifestyle they didn't approve of. We'll just leave it at that. This was the early 2000s. But back on topic. Signs that you are becoming a dark INFJ, that you're going to the dark side, that you're slipping, that you're losing it. You're going mad and you don't know it because you can't see it. Well, probably. People around you probably can. Very few will probably have the balls to tell you, everybody loves to see a fall unfold. But if you can catch some of these signs in yourself, you might want to sit down, meditate, be honest with yourself that you're losing your shit before you do. Some of us can't do that because some INFJs, myself included, we don't gradually deteriorate. We're okay, and then we dive and fall off a cliff, and all at once, no stopping it unless you grow wings. You have to do that despite my best efforts as a witch. I'd love to have some pretty awesome demonic dragon-looking wings. They'd look cool on me, but alas, I've yet to sprout them. I think my pact with Lilith would give me wings. I'm kidding, Lilith. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm making a joke. It's a joke. I do videos. I have to retain viewership. Please don't punish me. I've been tested quite a bit lately. So, one of the signs is everything has to be perfect or you'll do nothing. So in other words, if a situation isn't perfect, if there's like any slight reason that you may find in your mind not to do it, you're going to not do it. In other words, your all or nothing syndrome, well, that, but more so your perfectionism is running rampant. You're using it as an excuse not to take chances, not to give anything a fair shot. Because you're in the mindset that nothing can go right. There's no point in trying. I'm just going to get screwed over. I'm just going to get stabbed in the back. Someone's going to play me. All the INFJ things we do. You're going to convince yourself that it's just not possible that it's going to work out, that the world is against you. And at times it certainly does feel that way over the years. Sometimes, the world. I've never thought the world was against me, just Chester County. It's a difference, big difference. Arlington County misses me and loves me. Except for the good old boys club and the fire department. They despise me more than most people. Yeah. Anyway. Become more stubborn than ever. We're stubborn to begin with. When we get our minds set on something, there's no talking us out of it. If we decide that we're going to stand up to corruption or, a statistic... Excuse me while I have a little stroke. Can't say that word today, can I? Sadistic. Ha! Got it. Boss. We're going to do it. Even if that boss, breaks chairs over the lunch table in front of everybody. If we're getting our mindset, we're going to do the right thing and call this person out, come hell or high water. We don't care what happens to us. And people try to talk us down. It's not happening. Once we decide we're going to do something, there's no talking us down. Yeah, maybe by force, maybe. And even that doesn't always work. Just, telling a stubborn INFJ they can't do something is a challenge. You got to try to reason with us and tell us why it's a bad idea and give us very specific examples, and don't say words like because I said so, and then we're just be like, you're out to get me for some reason. So now I have to do, not only do I still want to do this, but I have to run over you to do it. Yeah. Not good in most cases, but that's kind of mindsets we get in. We'll develop super high expectations. First and foremost on ourselves. We'll never, we'll get in a mindset where we're never doing enough, no matter what it is. Like, you're not working hard enough, you're not putting in enough hours, you're not making enough money, you're not working out hard enough, you're not making enough videos, you're not trying hard enough, you're not helping enough people, whatever it may be, whatever you're doing, whatever your goals are, it's not going to be enough, and you got to push yourself to do more. You got to push yourself beyond all limits that you think you had, and even then it won't be enough. Sign that you're starting to lose it and go dark. Become too harsh. This can manifest in a couple different ways. You start spotlighting more than you would, or you start, spotlighting has its place. Some people deserve it. Sometimes it's the only way to call somebody out and do the right thing and protect somebody from further harm, blah, 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 blah. Watch my spotlighting video. It's very good. But you'll start doing it on a whim or without thinking it through, maybe to people who don't quite deserve it, or you're not sure they deserve it yet, because it's supposed to be a last resort. You're not supposed to do it right off the bat. Usually, when you're younger, sometimes you don't know better, but you'll become more harsher, even with people maybe that are seeking your help that aren't really fully ready to open up and tell you the full story. You'll get impatient and be like, no, I think I see the pieces of this puzzle, but I got to form the full picture. Oh, I can see right through you. Let's just pull out of you what you're not telling me. I can see it in your eye. Now I'm going to call you out on it, kind of stuff. Your empathy is a little down, your patience is down, you're still willing to help people, but it's like, okay, you want help with this, I know what's going on, admit it so then I can help you, let's do this, do you want my help or not, kind of thing. So in that ways we can be too harsh. You explode after bottling up your emotions. Oh yes, you knew this would be here. The INFJ rage is coming out. In other words, if you've been keeping your cool for a long time and people have been mistreating you, lying to you, stabbing you in the back, gaslighting you, all sorts of covert behavior like that, if it starts to get to you to a point where you know that you're struggling to hold it in, where you constantly think about calling that person out, you're thinking about spotlighting them, what you can see in their eyes, and they can't handle it if you hold that mirror up to them. If you're reaching to the point where you're thinking about that all the time and not just in the heat of the moment, if maybe they're attacking you for no reason, you're going dark. You're going to explode. And INFJs, I know it. Most of you probably listening know it, that we can hold it together for a while, but when we lose it, we lose it. It's bad. And in my case, I'm telling you, being honest, and most of you are probably like, it can't be that bad. Trust me, if you ever saw it, it is bad. It is bad. It is demonic. It is monstrous. When I lose it, the way I look, the way my face looks, the way my voice changes, when I lose it, it is fucking terrifying. And there's no stopping it. Not that I don't get physically violent unless someone attacks me first. But when I call somebody out, when I'm trying to break somebody down, damn it, I'm going to do it. Yeah. So again, big sign that you're going dark, that the rage is coming out and there's no holding it in. There's no trying to hold it back. Or if you do try to hold it back, you feel pressure in your head like you're going to have an aneurysm. Been there a couple times too over the years. Big one, you no longer care about other people's problems. In other words, a lot of INFJs, most of us, want to make the world a better place, want to help people, and expect nothing in return. It's just who we are. It's what we do. If you no longer care about that and you're like, fuck the world, fuck them, like, everybody, they deserve what they get. All people are fake. They're all materialists. They don't, they're cowards. They won't stand up for themselves. Just, let them get abused, let them be used, all I do is help people and get stabbed in the back. Fuck them. I'm just going to sit back and watch it happen, and laugh, call them out and tell them I told you so kind of thing. You're going dark if you feel that way. You're going dark. Probably somebody hurt you. Yeah, probably, most likely. Or you've taken on so much darkness in a short period of time, and your empathy is, you have empathy burnout. That could be the case too. Or perhaps that, being an INFJ, we don't like to use people as crutches. So as far as our problems go, we won't put it on people. But at the same time, people we trust, will let them pull it out of us. But at the same time, if people we do trust aren't showing genuine interest in like how we're hurt, and no one's showing us empathy, that'll push us to the dark side too. Especially if, these same people are people who all leaned on you at one time. And it's like, wait a minute, like, I let you use me as a crutch for something like 1/10 of what I'm dealing with now, and now you don't give a fuck about me, and I ask for nothing in return. That'll send you over the edge a lot of the times. It has for me in the past, especially when I was younger. Become moodier. You're glowering all the time. All the time. Like, you could be in a situation where you feel people want you to be miserable for whatever reason. So you will show no signs of happiness or even contentment, and you will have that stoic glower on your face at all time because you, A, are moody, but B, also you're using it as sort of armor so that the people, who want to destroy, or you think want to destroy whatever happiness you do manage to salvage, are afraid to approach you. Because let's be honest, a lot of us, when we have that resting bitch face going on, people usually leave us alone. It is good for that. It does kind of make us unapproachable. So you will be glowering and in that emotionalist, stoic, face show no emotion look more than usual. Because we always do it, especially if we're deep in thought. Because if we're, in an NITI loop, we bypass that whole extroverted feeling thing. And usually we're so locked in our own heads, we don't know what's going on here, or what's going on around us, what's going on up there, because it's in a constant overthinking loop. Another sign, for very rare, it's very rare, it's on the things getting bad, you only care about what you want. If you get Machiavellian, you're going dark real quick, because to be honest, INFJs, with our intuition, though we rarely do it, if we want to manipulate people, we have the ability to do it. With our intuition, if we want to play somebody, the ability's there. I mean, the guilt and the empathy doesn't let us do it. But if you're so hurt and so wounded that you just don't care anymore, and everything, a means to an end, the ends justify the means, or this is what everybody else does, or I can't get a fair shot, and everybody, nobody wants me to be happy. People actively want to come at me. It's like, well, fuck it. Then I'll play by your rules, and I'll do your game better than you do it, kind of thing. That's a sign that you're going dark. That's a sign, because we hold ourselves to a higher standard than the sheep. Once you start playing by the sheep's rules, it doesn't end well. Then you might get vilified actually with justification for once. I mean, if you're going to be labeled a villain, I guess you might as well have the fun of being a villain, perhaps, if your conscience can allow you to. Alas, mine cannot. You get extremely analytical. In other words, you overthink even more. You think there's a deeper meaning to everything. Everything somebody says to you, there must be something deeper to it. What do they really mean? What are the clues? What is the picture that I must form? There must be something more that they're trying to tell me. What are they leaving out? Especially if it's people who know you quite well and they know your intuitive abilities, you'll naturally think like, they're trying to tell me something. Shh, it's a secret, but I can put it together. And you'll obsess over that. Keep looking for, reviewing, various conversations in your head going, what did I miss? What signs did I miss? What's really going on? You know, why is everybody looking at me that way? That kind of stuff. It's a sign you're going dark because, well, sometimes you're right. Sometimes you suspect something's up. And sometimes you're just looking for a reason to enter hermit mode and to cut yourself off. Because maybe, like I said, you have empathy burnout, or you're burnout with your extroversion. In other words, we are the most extroverted of the introverts, but we can only be extroverted so long before we have to recharge, and maybe you haven't recharged in a while. That could be another reason why that particular sign is happening. And the biggest one, I kind of alluded to it. You cut people out of your life. You enter hermit mode. Did videos on hermit mode. Watch both of them, please. Not just the first one that more people watch. But, you just get sick of people and their bullshit. And you're like, people aren't honest. I'm upfront and honest. Other people don't return it in kind. People talk behind my back. People don't think for themselves. It's another big one. Yeah. People don't do what they want. People are followers. People are materialistic. People follow fads. People are afraid to stand up for themselves. People are pushovers. People aren't smart enough. All that kind of stuff. When you start telling yourself like all that about most people you're around, that's a sign that you're going dark, because you just can't deal anymore. You just can't. You're burnout in some way. Like I said, there could be a plethora of different reasons why you're going this route. It could be because everybody around you is turning on you, perhaps for good reason, perhaps for not. Could be empathy burnout. Could be that you're burnout with your extroversion and you need time to recharge as an introvert. Could be because you're in a bad, toxic environment and you just don't want to admit it to yourself and run like hell. Could be because you're in a fight you're sure to lose and you just don't want to admit that you already lost because you got to go down in the last stand. It could be because you are stagnant in your life and you're not doing what you want to do. You're not where you want to be. And perhaps given certain circumstances like your health, the economy, your finances, there's nothing you can do about it at the time, or the job that you want isn't available, or you're blacklisted from it. Example, there can be all kinds of reasons. You could be heartbroken. Somebody you're close to could have just died. There could be you're dealing with PTSD or some other mental illness. You could be being bullied and hazed at work. There's so many reasons why an INFJ could be exhibiting some, all, most of these signs. But in any of these scenarios could manifest these various signs, and it is certainly warning signs that you are going dark. And most likely for INFJs, if you're noticing these signs, if you're going down this path, you're going down it fast. Even if you don't like nosedive like I do, it's probably a rapid decline. It's probably not a gradual decline if you're fortunate enough to notice these signs, or if somebody who knows you well, who you actually trust, I know, big ass for us, is telling you in confidence that you are exhibiting these signs. Some people around you might be trying to push you over the edge. That's just sick, but it does happen. So if you're exhibiting, like I don't know, remember, I'm not a mental health professional, more than like one or two of these signs, maybe you need to confide in somebody you actually trust about what's going on and get a clear picture of why you're going down this road and what you can realistically, and I do mean realistically, do to improve that situation. Again, too many different variables could be there, and too many different solutions could be there, but something within that status quo is causing you to decline, and you must do something about it that's actually realistic and going to work in order to change things before you completely lose it. And as I said, when an INFJ, we can hold it together. We can take shit for years before we snap, but when we snap, it is bad. It is epic. And it is terrifying. So, I hope this video helped. I forget who requested it roughly 2 months ago, but here it is. Better late than never. I'm sorry for the delay. Remember, INFJs, if you think you're going dark, don't sell out your integrity trying to please someone that'll push you further down that dark path. And trust your intuition. If you think you're going dark, trust your intuition when it comes to doing what needs to be done to pull you out of that path before you're too far down it where you can pull back before you snap. And, like and subscribe, watch my older videos, help me get more views, help this channel grow, help engage with the channel, send comments, show me that this isn't just a waste of time and I'm just a nobody eccentric ranting lunatic that a handful of people find mildly entertaining.